Okay, so good evening. Um, I'm not going to take long. I just want to say a few things because, yeah, I'm feeling rather low. Like some of you may have noticed. I have a brother who is currently at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital. He's is in a critical condition. He's not doing very well, really. The situation is, yeah, it's not very good. He had a stroke, and yeah, he had a stroke. It affected his brain. So he's just there, lying there, and the situation doesn't look very good. Uh, However, me going to see him made me realize a few things. It made me realize, of course, the fragility of our health. One day you're okay like this, next you are lying there helplessly. It's just not easy. Especially this guy, he's a very active guy, but ish, he's just lying there. Yeah, life sometimes can be something else. But one thing that, in spite of all the situation that we are all going through as a family, one thing that struck me is the professionalism, the dedication, and the knowledge of our health workers. This morning, when I went there at Levi Mwanawasa, I found this doctor, and he took me through to make me understand what was going on with my brother. I appreciated his knowledge. Speaking confidently and, knowing exactly what they're supposed to do. That was quite impressive. And he was talking to me. My brother is, for us, we are not so privileged. We are not rich or anything. So my brother entered through the the health system in a normal way, like any other person. Where you go to the, to the first hospital. He was at what is this one? This one near Matero, level 1 hospital. You went there, then later on, the doctors saw him there and they realized, no, I think he needs to go to Levi Mwanawasa. Later on, an ambulance transferred him to Levi Mwanawasa, and I only saw him this morning. I couldn't go to see him in the night yesterday, and yeah, so they were speaking, so confident, knowing exactly what they have to do. So I really appreciated, first of all, the professionalism whereby, they're able to explain to you. Some of us who are coming from the old times, it was very difficult to really have a doctor explain to you and understand what is really going on. But this time around, we have doctors that are so professional that take time to explain, to the relatives of the patient, confidently about the situation. And this, I am not saying it's not because I've got a Kalito name known. I don't think those health workers did even recognize me because I was actually wearing a mask. I think some of them only came to know about it later on. So it is not anything that, no, somebody has money or somebody is being treated any special. No, it is just a normal way. That I appreciate very much from the health workers. I know some people will say, some people have had bad experiences with health workers, but I think we need to realize that it is normal, on this earth, that sometimes we have these people who are not so dedicated to their jobs, and they may give us bad experience. But over and above, many of our health workers, from my experience, they are good. My wife, thank you very much. Most of our health workers, really, from my experience, I think they are good. I'm not so much of a stranger to hospitals. I mean, time and again, I take people to hospital, I visit people in hospitals, and even myself, I get sick and I don't go to these private hospitals unless, otherwise. Many times I prefer to go to the government hospitals. So I am familiar with the situation around our health facilities. But yes, I do agree that there are some times when some health workers don't conduct themselves very well, especially in these places where they are overwhelmed with a number of cases. Some of these hospitals, especially in the compounds, we have a number of people coming, and sometimes you also wonder how people. It's like the people wait to go to the hospital, like they come at the same time. So tomorrow is Monday, you will see long queues of people in hospitals, and yet some of them are actually sick today and they are waiting to go to the hospital tomorrow on a Monday, when in fact, hospitals work 24/7. So I think we can also reduce on congestion by going to the hospital as soon as you feel bad. Not to wait when the situation is bad. That's when you go to the hospital. Like, no, I'll go tomorrow. I'll go on a Monday. We somehow cause so much pressure on the health workers, because sometimes we take hospitals like they work, only on working days during the day, So let us try as much as possible to go to the hospital when you feel, ill, and not to wait for a particular time as if hospitals are closed in particular times or days. So let us go to the hospital. Whenever you feel bad, go to the hospital. Don't wait for a Monday morning, because it becomes so busy during those times. Anyway, so I think from my point of view, we are doing well in terms of health workers. For me, the health workers in this country, I think they are dedicated and they are knowledgeable. This is very important. Don't underrate our health workers. Our health workers are not, it's not that they don't know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. Most of them know what they are doing. And this comes from the good education that we have in this country, especially these recognized learning institutions. Our learning institutions, recognized proper learning institutions, not these makeshift learning institutions. These days I feel very bad when I drive around or hear, some of these young people, they mention schools, which, yes, it's not that a school has to be known, but some of these schools really, they are a sorry sight. Especially if you go in the compounds. In the compounds, there are universities in these compounds. Universities. And when you go there, these makeshift universities and colleges, first of all, you just look at the facility. It's terrible. A bedroom is turned into a classroom and it is packed with students. Then you see the lecturer is also a lecturer from another makeshift university, little known university, little known college, and is teaching these young people. I really pity most of these people, because some of these colleges and universities where people go. You can't even get a job in a reputable organization. You can't. Even the so-called, when you are applying for as health workers, some of you shouldn't blame the government or corruption that no, you have not been picked. You should blame yourself by the fact that you go to some of these universities and colleges which really, are not known. And their quality of education which they offer is very poor. It is sad that corruption is also there in the way they give these certificates by TAVETA. I really don't know what is happening with TAVETA, because surely some of these schools shouldn't be there. And they are taking advantage of the ignorance and the poverty of the people, whereby they go and put up a college or at a university in a compound, and they are saying, come, and they charge very little. And the poor people, they go there. You meet a person, he can't even speak proper English. He can't even do anything. And he's saying, no, I graduated. You graduated from where? You look at the school, it's very bad. So please, young people, strive to go to recognized colleges and universities. If you have failed, you are better off repeating the grade 12, you pass, so that you go in a recognized university. Some of you want to do shortcuts, whereby you have failed and you go to this college or university which doesn't ask about your grade 12 certificate. They don't mind. You can have a 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I know it's okay. We will pick you, And you go there instead of repeating, so that you can go to a school that at least will give you quality education. So please, I beg you, and you parents, please don't just take your child to any school just because it's a college, just because Mwanachite is going there, just because, please, don't take some of your children to these colleges and universities which are not even known. Let your children work hard, pass the grade 12, and go to recognized universities. Even these certificates, degrees, and whatever, some of these, they are useless. They're just papers. If you are given a degree or whatever it is, certificate from a very useless school, what good is it? So those who go to credible universities and colleges, they get good education. Our education is very good. And you can see how our health workers are so much needed in other countries. Our health workers, especially even in the region here, they are sought for. Our health workers, they are sought for. In the region, the entire region, they are sought for. In Europe, our health workers are sought for. In America, our health workers are sought for. That's why we have so many doctors, for example. A number of doctors have left our country. We educate them and they leave. Because where they go, they are recognized, they are accepted. Some of these people, which is quite the contrary, some of these people, some of these so-called doctors who come from other countries coming into Zambia, they do so badly. I don't want to mention countries, but some people even like to send children. You send a child to go to another country to go and become a doctor, and they go to a makeshift university or college in this country. And then when they come back and they're busy bragging, no, I was educated in whatever. I was educated in whatever. From my point of view, really, I have not much, I don't have so much respect for some of these people who flash these international, qualifications from wherever and wherever. Because some of these places where these people go, they don't receive quality education. Here in Zambia, we have quality education. We have quality education, especially in some of these fields like health. We have quality education. That's why I'm actually happy, to have my daughter at the University of Zambia doing engineering. I'm very proud. I know she's getting quality education there. So, of course, the other one I may have to send the next one out of Zambia due to the thing that due to what she wants to do. But the point is that we have quality education around here, and most of our Zambian health workers, please don't underrate them. Please don't underrate them. Don't look down upon them. We have got this notion in our heads. When you see this Kayang doctor, like the Kayang doctor I met, this afternoon, a Kayang lady, small, beautiful like this. When you look at her with her beauty, with her smallness, you'd think that, she doesn't know what she's doing. But when she engaged me to talk to me, she was so thorough. Later on, I asked if I could speak to another doctor, a specialist, a neuron specialist. She called this guy who also came, quickly. Not that there was a Mr. Tayali. She just picked up a phone. There is a male adult who has got this, whatever. I'm sending you this. Can you look at it and give me your opinion? And the guy came. This is highly professional. I was there when she called. She just picked up a phone, called a specialist. I've got a male adult who has got this condition, and we have done a CT scan. I'm going to send you a CT scan. Look at it, and I want your opinion. And the guy came to see the doctor, and he had done some calculations and whatever. I was really impressed. He went on to explain to me, blah, blah, blah. These are the different scenarios. We can do this, but this is the whatever. Perfectly. And he's also just a young guy, a Zambian. And yet, most of you, when you meet these young Zambian doctors, you want to look down upon them. You want to be treated by some doctor from I don't know wherever, especially with the light skin. Those are the people that you think that they know better. Trust me, some of these wazungus that you may want, even with a light skin, some of them, wherever they come from, they don't receive the good education that our doctors or our health workers here receive. So I'm pleading with you that please, let us give them the support by respecting them, by not looking down upon them, because some of us, when we meet them, we really berate them. We undermine them. We think we know. No, those people know very well. Listen to them. Listen to them, and you will be assisted. Don't pressure them. Sometimes we pressure them such that, we stimulate their emotions. They are human, so sometimes our attitude is also very, very important. Some of us, especially those of us who are able to speak English, when you walk in, you want to show that you know. Especially if you are even known, you have got a little name on social media. You want doctors to start looking at you like you're a celebrity. Health workers to look at you as a celebrity. When you go to the hospital, there is nothing like you're a celebrity. They are saving lives. And no life is important than the other. You could be a celebrity where you are coming from. You could be making some numbers on social media. But when you go to the hospital, humble yourself. You are not a celebrity in the hospital. You have gone there to seek help. To seek help just like anybody else. And your life is not more important than any other person. So don't go to the hospital with my attitude. A lot of you go with attitudes. No, I'm whatever. No life is more important than the other. Go there, be humble, and those people will help you. Frankly speaking, I strongly believe that our hospitals, our health workers are among the best in the world. They are really among the best in the world. Trust me. It is confirmed because they go to other countries and they are recognized and they are appreciated. Wherever Zambian doctors, or even nurses have gone, they have appreciated them. Of course, a few disgruntled, those who are whatever, but many of our health workers are respected and appreciated when they go out there. Which is why, which brings me to the next point, that, we could do better, to remunerate our health workers. Our health workers for a long time, really, they are not paid well. Vasata, when he came in, he tried, he increased. But look, the cost of living has gone very high. At the moment, the cost of living is high. So I think we need to consider, giving them more. And I don't know if Vaakainde Hichilema will do much about that, but tonight I don't want to bash Vaakainde Hichilema so much because I'm actually very appreciative of President Hakainde Hichilema tonight. I want to say this, that I heard the story of Honorable Kalimi. I know some of you know about Honorable Kalimi, that he was involved in an accident, and he was admitted at UTH. The situation was quite critical, and they decided that he should go to South Africa. And people reached out to President Hakainde Hichilema, and President Hakainde Hichilema responded swiftly, quickly, and made sure that Honorable Kalimi was evacuated. I want to put it on record, because some of these things, when you do good, most of the times it is not so much spoken about. But when you do bad, we talk a lot. Imagine if those people who approached President Hakainde Hichilema, if President Hakainde Hichilema had refused, I am sure by now, or by that time, social media would have broken loose. Social media would have been saying he's a bad man. He wants the Honorable Kalimi to die so that we can have a by-election, and so on and so forth. But he accepted, and Honorable Kalimi was evacuated. We are not talking so much about it. I thought it wise that I should dedicate my tonight's talk to appreciating President Hakainde Hichilema. Tonight, my main topic, yes, I've spoken about health workers, but with that, I am bringing out this. I want you people to know that President Hakainde Hichilema did act, graciously to allow Honorable Kalimi to be evacuated. Don't take it for granted. I know by UPND, if it was the time when UPND was in opposition, and you say this, that Edgar Lungu did this, they would jump up and say, well, it is not his money, it is taxpayers' money, it is his job, and so on and so forth. No. Certain things which are done as a favor, we must be able to appreciate. Certain things where people do, walk an extra mile to help you, we should be able to appreciate. Because certainly we have so many people out there who would want to be evacuated. And really, truth be told, our government is not able to be sending people out there just like that. It has to take, the compassion of, those in government. And in this case, it had to take the compassion of President Hakainde Hichilema to have Honorable Kalimi evacuated. For me, when something good is done, I want to say it, I want to appreciate it, I want to commend those who have done it. Of course, when something is wrong, I will still speak. So tomorrow when I will be talking about President Hakainde Hichilema, criticizing him on one or two things, don't say, but yesterday you were saying this. Here we are talking about Honorable Kalimi. And the compassion, how President Hakainde Hichilema was moved to get, a plane, because, is very sick, you know, especially at the time that he was going. He was very sick. You know, he was unconscious. So a special plane had to be brought in for him to be evacuated into South Africa. And he went. So I am saying that was very good, our president. Please continue with the same heart. It was really, really good, at least. And I want to say that I got this. I'm sure even the family of Honorable Karimi also recognize that, and they are grateful. But I don't want to speak like a family spokesperson. Let me just end by speaking as a public lawyer, because this information came to me. I got it and I thought I should talk about it the same way that I would have spoken about it if it was in the opposite. But you see, not again that I'm doing politics, but just to also point out this, that, you know, I have been talking about President Edgar Lungu being important, President Hakainde Hichilema being important. In the situation of Honorable Karimi, both President Hakainde Hichilema and President Edgar Lungu worked together, though they didn't know. Separately, President Hakainde Hichilema did his part as a Republican president. He's the one that allowed that evacuation. A special plane had to come in to pick Honorable Karimi to be evacuated into South Africa. But going to South Africa, that evacuation needed the wife and somebody else to accompany Honorable Karimi. And so, government provided that evacuation for Honorable Karimi to be flown into South Africa. But the wife and somebody else had to accompany them. And this required an air ticket as well as some upkeep. And who provided that? President Edgar Chagwa Lungu provided that through his connections. President Edgar, when people tried to raise money, they couldn't, you know, get the required money because a lot of people don't have money. And this is what I tell you, because some of you think that there is a lot of money that is just flying around. No, there is no money in this economy. Big people failed to raise the money that was required for the wife and another person. They couldn't. So they had to reach out to President Edgar Lungu, and Edgar Lungu, through his connection, you know, they managed to get a ticket and they managed to get some pocket money for them to go. This is information that I've received as a public lawyer. Through my intelligence, I got this information. It's not coming from wherever, but this is a fact. And so you see, this is how President Hakainde Hichilema, as a Republican president, was complimented, or they complimented each other with the former head of state, Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, through his connections, managed to, you know, galvanize resources for some family members to accompany Honorable Karimi. President Hakainde Hichilema provided, you know, through the government, the possibility of Honorable Karimi to be evacuated. They worked together, though not speaking to each other. But imagine if they were even able to speak to each other. Imagine if they were even able to speak to each other. It would be very nice, where President Hakainde Hichilema would say, you see, this guy needs to be evacuated, but from my point of view, I can only do this. Can you help, you know, with this? Imagine if that would happen. And this is possible. I just don't understand why we try to fuel, you know, acrimony, when we can actually be united and work together and do big things, even bigger things. In this situation, somebody's life is being saved by these two people working together, though not knowing. I don't think President Edgar Lungu, President Hakainde Hichilema knew. President Edgar Lungu, of course, he knew, because this was happening after, you know, the evacuation had been approved. Nonetheless, I say thank you to President Hakainde Hichilema as a public lawyer. Thank you to President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. And I say this again as a public lawyer, not as doing politics, no, from a human point of view. I mean, what you did it's very good. I also want to say thank you very much to our medical workers, you know, who in one way or the other contributed, you know, to the possibility of Honorable Kalimi to be evacuated. I'm also grateful to the health workers that are saving lives right now in different hospitals, including those that are attending to my brother who is at Levi Mwanawasa. I really appreciate you, and I believe me that when I will have an opportunity to be in government, I will fight for you that your conditions of services are, you know, are made better, so that at least, you know, you're motivated. This I will push. I'll keep on pushing. And President Hakainde Hichilema, you are the Republican president at the moment. These are some of the issues that you need to look at. It's good that you employed those many health workers. It's good, but I know that some of them are still not getting paid. Some of them have not gotten housing, some allowances, including hardships allowances. These are things that we need to look into so that we motivate them. It is very difficult, especially those that are working in rural areas. I don't think it is good, to leave them, without paying them. So, all in all, like I said, that tonight I don't want to talk too much. I just wanted to, say thank you very much to the health workers. Thank you very much to President Hakainde Hichilema. Thank you very much to President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. And I ask you to pray for our health workers, to pray for the different people that are going through health challenges, including my brother, who is currently at Levi Mwanawasa. I'll leave it here for tonight. I will not open phone calls. We will talk hopefully tomorrow when I will be able to open phone calls. For tonight, I'll leave it there. And I say, may God bless you. May God bless Zambia.